How are you? I thought I would pop on and do a live. It's been a hot minute since I've gone live with you guys using my all-in-one palette. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you about color correction and a few color corrector shades that you can add to your palette. If you're not familiar about what I'm talking about, this is my all-in-one makeup palette. I am an artist with this company. I can help get you set up with these palettes. They're basically customizable to your skin tone. They're individual tins that pop in and out. So it's custom to your skin tone. It's custom to your budget. And you get to build it based on your needs. So if you do want to do any extra color correction, you can grab color correctors to go in your palette too. So that's what I'm going to go through today. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will come back and check the replay for comments too. And if you want to check out these palettes, I have more details on my website, which is just lovealwayslaura.com, or it'll be linked in the replay caption here, where I'll have my free color match form if you want to get a color match, and I will recommend color correctors in your custom color match too. That is if you want to build your own palette, or if you just want to do quick and easy, we have pre-built palettes on the website too that are bundled with your brush. They're smaller than this, but bundled with your brush, your core shades, your core shades, and your palette. So we do have smaller pre-built palettes that come discounted on our website too. What is going on with my hair? Hi guys, say hi as you're popping on, and write hashtag replay if you're catching the replay. So let's talk some color theory and color correction. When I color match you, I get a lot of people commenting in their color match form about needing color correctors. Now, is it necessary with this makeup? I'm going to tell you it's not for most people, or for many people, because we're our own worst critics, right? So a lot of the time we'll see under eye dark circles, we'll see redness, we'll see scarring. I carry a lot of redness on my chin, through the center of my face. Will this makeup, your highlights, your foundation, will it do the job and neutralize everything it needs to neutralize? Yes, for most people, unless there's true excess color in your skin. And excess color, you want to use color science to color correct it so that you're not having to cake on your makeup. So if you have, I do have blue underneath my eyes. If you have really significant blue under eyes, dark circles, you can do color correcting first so that you're not having to cake on your concealer. And why would you not want to have to cake on your concealer? Is because the more light and bright product that you apply underneath your eyes is just going to accentuate your fine lines and wrinkles and add more texture, which we don't need to do, right? So that's why we do have color correctors when it comes to makeup, so that you can actually neutralize the proper color you're seeing with the proper corrector. And then you would just go in with your brightening concealer, but you've already neutralized the excess pigment. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's start with this. And again, I can do a color match for you so that you know what your color correctors and what your foundation colors and contour colors and everything would be. And typically, there are some general color correctors. So I'm going to talk about the general color correctors. Some of it might vary depending on your skin tone, but generally these are going to be a safe bet. So if you have a dark under eye, okay, I carry it in the pocket of my eye and right here in the corner. I sometimes get some discoloration or blue out near the crow's feet of my face. You're going to want to go in with an orange peachy undertone. When you see blue or deep purple, you can use this color called Frenchie. And the reason why I like recommending this as your color corrector, there's a few other things that we have, but this is actually a lip and cheek color. So this is actually something that you can wear on your lips and as your blush. So it serves three purposes if you're needing a color corrector. So you're just going to pick up a bit of that orange and you're going to pop it right where you see that blue. So in the socket of my eye for me, and then I'm just going to lightly feather it down through that blue. What would you recommend for redness? I would recommend Aspen, which we're going to go into here. But that is what I would recommend for Aspen. That's a really common issue that people always comment on their color match forms is redness. So I'll talk about that, but that's a contour color called Aspen. Okay, see how I have that blue still appearing on this side of my face, but I've neutralized it over here just with a light application of a lip and cheek color called Frenchie. Okay, I can even take a bit of that right here where I see a bit of that blue. It's more veins that are popping through on that other side of my eye, but lightly applying, and I'm using the blend brush because it is a light coverage brush. It's like feathering that color corrector onto your face, okay? So that is what you're gonna do with, and I'll just do the same thing on this side. You can see the before. And we'll do a bit of this Frenchie. Again, this is gonna work for most people. So if you're already a client of mine and you're just like, yep, I wanna take an extra step and neutralize so I don't have to use as much concealer, then just grab yourself Frenchie. It will definitely help with those sleepless nights, those dark under circles. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about redness. So let's use this color called Aspen. Aspen is actually a contour color. Now, I don't recommend it for most people for their actual contour because it is has a green undertone. It would maybe work on the fairest of fairest girls, but it's not actually gonna provide enough contrast to be a true shadow on someone even like me. And I'm like light to not even medium. I'm pretty light right now that we're approaching winter. So I wouldn't even recommend it for me. I don't think I've ever recommended Aspen as a contour color for someone to contour their face. I usually only recommend it as a color corrector. Even if you're super fair, like if you're more fair than me, I'm going to recommend a different contour for you for your face. So just because this one doesn't provide the right undertone, in my opinion, this is truly, you can see how I'm just dusting it on with this big fluffy brush, but look at how it neutralized that redness on my chin. Okay, that is all we're doing. Some people will actually even use this Aspen color in lieu of actually doing a foundation. Like you're gonna see here as I start dusting this on my face, like I probably don't even need to do foundation. It's crazy because I'm just evening out my skin tone where I see that red, right? Like I'm only applying it where I see red, and I'm using the lightest, fluffiest brush that I'm not having to, like it's gonna look very natural. I'm just using this color that has a green undertone on red, and it's gonna take out that excess red in the skin, okay? Look at the difference between this face and this face. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing makeup, right? You can see I've got a bit more right here, but I'm just feathering it on with this blend brush. You can still see my natural skin, my freckles, but I've completely taken out this redness. Popped capillaries I've got here. Isn't that interesting to see? Like my forehead up here versus my forehead here. All that was Aspen, okay? So if you're like a no makeup gal, hey Janice, a no makeup gal, Aspen can totally just neutralize that excess distraction that you see on your face. Janice has asked if this is olive I'm using. It's called Aspen, Janice. It's a contour color. Olive is a contour color, but it is called Aspen, and I'm using it just to neutralize red. So for the ladies catching this replay or that are watching right now, if you have, you suffer from a lot of acne, rosacea, which like I have mild rosacea where I just carry red in my face. So again, it works for me. But even if you have flaming hot red, itchy, dry skin rosacea, right? Like we know what we're talking about when we say really significant rosacea. Aspen works wonders. Okay. And again, it's cream. So it's nice and hydrating because typically rosacea, and because I said I have light rosacea, anyone who has excess red in their skin, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bet my bottom dollar you have dry skin. Like you do not have an oily complexion. For me, I have mild rosacea. I have redness in my skin. Typically coincides with a dry complexion. Again, cream makeup is great for dry skin. So, and I'm just going to say this in case you have an oily complexion. You're like, can I wear that makeup then? Can I wear that makeup then? Yes, you can. You're just going to set it with a powder. But if you have oily skin and you're using a liquid foundation, you're probably already using a setting powder anyway. Okay. That's a whole nother conversation for a different day. But let's just quickly finish this Aspen. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about hyperpigmentation, melasma, sunspots, age spots. I have a lot of mature skin ladies that wear this makeup. Why? Because this cream makeup is amazing for mature skin. And when I say, I'm just going to go into that popped capillary there with the smaller end of this blend brush. See? Guys, I'm not even wearing foundation. Anyway, when I say mature skin, I'm talking skin over 30. So skin over 30 starts to develop fine lines and wrinkles around their eyes. It starts to lose collagen. It starts to lose elasticity in our skin. So we start to lose the volume in our face. We start to have our eyes sink back a little. So that's why it develops those dark circles. So many things happen as our skin matures, not just like fine lines and wrinkles, but that all happens in your 30s. So I have a lot of women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s that use this makeup because it's not going to settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It's hydrating. It's great for mature skin. And what coincides though with mature skin is a lot of sun damage, age spots, sunspots. Okay. So if you have hyperpigmentation, I am like in awe about my skin right now by just applying that Aspen. But if you have like clusters of, they look like freckles, right? It's traditionally sun damage or age spots, but hyperpigmentation, melasma presents mostly in their cheeks. And that just happens with age and sun damage. But when you see that, people always think it's a freckle and that it's brown. It actually has a green undertone, okay? And when you see green, you want to use orange. So, or like a pinky color. The best ones that I can recommend for someone is you can use a little bit of your Frenchie if you want, but I like recommending a highlight color because then it's almost like a cameo effect on your face. So in the area where you have hyperpigmentation, like let's say right here, for the fair skin gals like me, you're going to use amber. If you are more like medium to warm, which I am not, well, you can see I am a fair skin gal. For more medium to warm skin tones, you're going to want mango. Okay. Fair skin tones, amber is great for hyperpigmentation. Medium to warm, you're going to want mango. Okay. You can see that this is just too orange for my skin tone, whereas this is more close to my foundation color, but it's darker than my foundation. Okay. So your color corrector is going to go, you're just going to stipple it. I don't have a ton of melasma or sun damage yet. Thankfully, I kind of been proactive to prevent that. I've been wearing sunscreen all the time. So hopefully I can stay on top of that. But if I had a lot of excess color here that was presenting like melasma, I would just take my amber. Again, amber for the fair skin gals, mango for the medium to dark skin gals, and I'm just going to stipple it right there, okay? Just as an additional layer, and I probably wouldn't have done my Aspen underneath it, but I'm just trying to show you a whole color correction kit. So that is what you would do, and then you're going to do your highlight routine. Hey, Leslie! Okay, so again, I don't have a ton of age spots, sunspots, sun damage, or anything like that yet. For me, it was more redness that I needed to neutralize, which would be my Aspen tint. But if you are someone that has hyperpigmentation, melasma, sun damage, age spots, you're going to want to go in with amber or mango. Okay? Let's put this to the side. Now, when I say this is like a little great color corrector kit, you might want all three because sometimes our skin presents differently at different times of year or at different times of the month, right? I have, my redness can flare up depending on my diet, depending on my stress, like my melasma. Whereas like my under eye circles can obviously be more prominent on days I don't sleep well, right? So I might not need to do these steps every single day, every time I do my makeup, every time I get ready for work. It might just be like depend on what's going on, So you can play that by ear, but it is handy to have in your palette for the days that you do find that you've got excess pigment in your skin. Depending on your cycle, if you're menopausal, if you're on your period, your blood, you start producing more blood in your skin, and that can also present differently in your face. So sometimes of the month, like I said, you will need extra color correction than other times of the month, or just depending on lifestyle and sleep and all that kind of stuff, stress. So that is the color correction tips. If you want a color corrector or you want to add to your palette, you can go to the link in my bio. If you're already a customer, you can just go to the Shop Makeup tab and grab these colors. Again, it's Aspen for redness, Frenchie for under eyes, amber or mango, depending on light to medium skin tones. Again, these are all under the Shop Makeup tab in my bio if you just want to add to them, or if you're a new customer just catching this video or someone shared this video to you, you can get a color match, and I will tell you those color correctors in your custom color match, and then you can build your own palette. So now that we've color corrected, let's just do our highlight and contour routine, okay? I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my detail brush, and I'm going to start with contouring my face. What is highlighting and contouring? Because I know for most people, they're like, highlighting and contouring. I can never highlight and contour. which was totally me 3 years ago. I've been using this makeup for 3 years. I'm an artist with this company, and I had never highlighted and contoured before trying this makeup. It just seemed like complicated. It seemed like something that the YouTubers did. It seemed like something that was like an extra step. It seemed expensive. It just didn't seem like something that was feasible for the everyday woman. But I'm going to tell you, it's great for maturing skin because it's just going to add that depth and dimension to your face, okay? Look at that shadow, that sculpt that I'm adding underneath my cheekbones. That is going to give lift and youthfulness to my face. I've put it up near my hairline, which is going to help with those receding hairlines, postpartum hair loss. If you know, elongated forehead, like a 5 head, you want to put back to a 4 head. You're just enhancing your shadows. Same with underneath my jawline. You can sculpt a little underneath that jawline. If you are someone that maybe has a bit of a double chin, or maybe with age you've lost volume underneath your jawline and you've started to see, we lose volume and elasticity in our skin, so we do start to develop more skin there and it sags. So that can happen underneath our jawline, and you can just add a bit of contour there to add depth and dimension between your face and your neck, okay? Next, I'm gonna go in with my highlight color, and I am gonna stipple it. Because I put color corrector on my face, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to stipple this product into my skin. I'm not going to like do huge like swiping motions. I'm kind of tapping more than anything on top of that Aspen, because I put that contour color corrector Aspen. And so I'm just stippling it on my face. And you don't have to use a lot because, again, cream makeup is highly pigmented. So look at that flawless color we're getting here. I am just stippling it through the main areas of my face, on my nose. And this is like your foundation, but I don't have to put it underneath my contour. That's the most interesting thing about this makeup system is you don't have to put it underneath your contour, because your contour is part of your makeup system, okay? Your contour has coverage, and so it does not need to have layers of makeup underneath it. Now, I'm going to take the smaller end of my brush here, and I'm just going to brighten. And remember, we used Frenchie underneath our eyes to neutralize those dark circles. So I'm just stippling this brightening highlight, which is like your concealer. Again, your whole makeup bag in one palette. So like foundation, concealer, contours, blush, lipstick, setting powders, like everything is in this palette, right? So I'm just stippling that around my eyes, awakening those eyes. See how discolored my eyelids are. So this is like a concealer, but it's a brightening highlight. It's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation. So it's just awakening your eyes, neutralizing any discoloration. And I'm just kind of pressing it on top of that Frenchie. Okay. I sometimes even like to take a bit of that brightening color just down like my T-zone here, just so that I feel light and bright in the center of my face. And then my shadows are more on the outer areas of my face, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to blend these highlights and the contour together. And I'm just doing these little swirling motions with my big fluffy brush. I could even blend using the same brush that I was using before, but I love this blush and bronzer brush. And I'm just blending so I have no harsh lines, okay? So I've done my foundation, my concealer, my contour, all in one layer. Look at that definition to my cheeks, you guys. Okay, that was my blush and bronzer brush. I'm just gonna take actually a bit of my bronzer here and start adding a bit of warmth on top of my cheekbones. So if you're curious about what the difference is between contour and bronzer, contour has more of an ashy undertone, whereas bronzer has more of a warm undertone. Contour mimics a shadow, bronzer mimics a tan. So contour goes in the hollows of our face, whereas bronzer goes on the high points of our face where the sun would naturally hit, okay? So it's adding warmth to my cheeks, which is what we need in winter because we're pale as ever. Hi, Sylvie, how are you? I hope you're having a good, what are we? I don't even know. Wednesday? A good Wednesday. Okay, the other cool thing about this palette is you can actually use a line brush and use your contour. And when I recommend your contour color, I'm going to recommend a color that will work for your brows. And I'm just going to fill in my brows. As we age, as we mature, we start to lose hair at the front of our brows and at the tail, actually. So I just like to fill in the sparse areas of my brows just to make more definition to my face. And you don't need like a separate brow pencil or anything that you're just using your contour, which is so cool. When I say literally this is your entire makeup bag, it is. You can even use eyeshadows. I have eyeshadows in the back of my palette, but you can even use eyeshadows to fill in your brows if you prefer more like a powdered brow approach. So I'm just drawing little lines at the front of my brows. And then just lightly, ever so lightly, filling in those sparse areas, okay? This line brush also has a little spoolie on it. So you can just like fluff up any flyaways. Okay, so I've used foundation, concealer, contour, and I put a bit of bronzer on. Let's add some pigment into my face and go in with, I'm gonna go in with Black Cherry today. Love Black Cherry. It is so understated. Look at how scary it looks on the tin and even on the website, but it's like the perfect color. I love it in winter and fall. You can obviously build on it if you want it to. I'm just putting one layer on, but if you wanted to add more, you can make it darker. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, add a bit of it on my cheeks just for a little bit of blush. Okay, let's see, and we'll blend that out with the blush and bronzer brush. Isn't that pretty? Like, it looks so scary on the website, but it's, so for our lip and cheek colors, you guys, I have quite a few in this palette. Oh, I have a spot, I can add one. So they're just, again, all magnetics. You get to pick what colors you like. If you like more nudes or neutrals, you can totally go with that if you're not into like bright colors. But we have satins on the website, which are more like a matte finish. And then we have glosses, and we also have semi-glosses. This one is a gloss. You can see it has a little bit more shine, adds more luminous look to my cheeks. And I just absolutely love it, but it looks scary on the website. So if you see the glosses and they look very dark, like this is Black Cherry. Royal is similar to Black Cherry, but it's more of a red undertone versus a purple undertone. Royal is one of my favorites, as you can tell. Again, these are two perfect colors for fall and winter. But yeah, don't be scared about what they look like. So if you see a gloss on the website, just know it's going to appear way lighter than it does in the tin. Whereas the satins are more true to tone. Like the satin ones are more of a matte finish. They're more true to tone. Whereas glosses are toned down because they're a gloss. They're more sheer in finish, if that makes sense. Hannah's asked, how long do each tins last you? So it depends on your palette. Like, it depends on the tin, I guess I should say. So my foundation would last me about 4 to 6 months. Okay, and this is, again, if you're using your makeup every day. 4 to 6 months, your concealer should be about 6 months, your contour should be 8 to 12 months, and your lip and cheek color should be about 12 months. And it depends, though. Like, if you have as many lip and cheek colors as I do, they're going to last you longer. Like this Black Cherry and like this Royal I've had for 2 years. This Royal I've had for 2 years. So, but you can build your palette to as big or as small as your budget. Like some people will start with like a palette like this, like foundation, concealer, contour, bronzer, a few lip and cheek colors. This, again, you would just replace the individual tins as needed. So you would just replace probably your foundation and your concealer every 4 to 6 months. Concealer a bit longer, but foundation every 4 to 6 months. And then contour should last you like 8 months to a year. And then lip and cheeks, it's totally up to you and up to your budget, right? Like you can totally just have two lip and cheeks that you bounce between all year, depending on the seasons, like a summer color and like more like seasonal color. I just like having a lot. And depending on your outfit or your mood, right? depending on what you're wearing. Like if I'm going on a night out, I'm more prone to wear like a red lip. In summer, I'm more prone to like a pink lip, or depending on what my shirt is and things like that. So it's nice though to have this different color, because before, this was my blush color. This was my blush, and I used the same color all year, every day, right? And this one color, I can now buy 2 lip and cheeks with, okay? So this costed just over $30, and I had to use the same blush color, and it was only for my blush, whereas now these are blush and lipsticks, and I could buy 2 for the price of my old, this is Tarte, by the way, my old Tarte blush. So much more affordable. Same with this. This is my old foundation. For the price that I paid for this, I can now buy 2.5 foundation tins for the price of my old foundation. And this would last me only about like three months. And these tins last 4 to 6 months. Again, it depends on how much full coverage you like. If you like your makeup very full coverage, I don't have a full coverage look on right now, but if you like it very full coverage, then you're probably going to be more on the 4-month mark versus someone who just wears more everyday makeup. Where can I get this palette? It is in the link in my bio. So if you're not following me, just tap my profile picture here. Tap it one more time. You can follow my account. You'll see more tips and tricks and easy makeup routines, and you'll see this palette a lot. But in the link in my bio, which is lovealwayslaura.com is my website there, you can see these pre-built palettes, and you can shop the makeup if you just want to grab the color correctors we talked about, or you can fill out the color match form if you're new here and you want to start from scratch. Catherine was talking a bit about so if you have your tins for a prolonged period of time, or maybe in a cold area, like this is my office, you guys, I am, it gets really cold in here in the winter, so my makeup can kind of get cold. So keep your makeup maybe in a more warm environment, or just blast it with a blow dryer, because they're creams. They'll warm on your face. I like my makeup traditionally. I would say to you guys, my makeup looks the best like 15 minutes after it's been on my face, because it just looks so natural. It's like, it's warmed with my skin. The creams have warmed with my skin. So it just looks the most like radiant and youthful, you know? But yeah, if you want it to be like more creamy when you apply it, you could just blast it with a blow dryer like for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Oh my God, I didn't think about a blow dryer. Thank you. Yeah, of course. Just a little trick of the trade, you know? Okay, guys. I might let you guys go so that this replay isn't too long, but if you have any questions, the best way to probably reach me and we can chat is fill out my color match form. It's in the link in my bio. I will get back to you after this video, and I fill out all my color matches within the same day, usually within an hour, so I'll get you back your custom colors, and my email explains a lot, so that might fill in some of the questions that you have. Otherwise, you can just reply back to your color match email and I can fill in any of your questions, but I will tell you what your custom colors are and all of that in the email. So that is just in the link in my bio, or you can go to lovealwayslaura.com and like and follow my account if you're not already following me. And if you're ever so kind, if you found this useful, please give it a share to your page. Maybe this makeup routine would benefit someone else that wants something quick, easy, and simple, but that looks really great on the skin. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here. So much. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.